beautiful people. Welcome to another episode of Serving Up Realness, where I dig into my email box and I answer some of your questions. Now for our first question. The question is, I am Black and asexual. What category do I fit in? Am I considered part of the gay community? Now this is an interesting question. Thank you for asking this question. You know, first and foremost, you're always a part of my community, so you know that I love you and that you are more than welcome here and that I affirm your identity. But you know, it's interesting about asexuality because I think that we haven't really, really as humans, so to speak, haven't really been thinking about asexuality. I guess we've all made the assumption that everybody is sexual, and the truth is there are some folks that aren't. In terms of the gay community, I think that the gay community has always been embracive of all people of all sexual orientations. Sometimes it's not necessarily in the lettering, which there is no A for asexual, but I want you to know that I'm going to start putting an A, and it's not only going to stand for allied because I was told that I need to add the A for allies and allied, but I'm also going to add that A for asexuality. And as I stumble on more information about asexuality, I promise to share more about that because I do think that it's a viable orientation. There are some people that, there was a documentary out a few months ago, or sometime last year, and I did watch that documentary, and it really kind of educated me about how there's some people that just don't have the need or the feelings to be sexual. Now, I'm 180 degrees. I like a little sex every now and then, or every now. And but I do affirm that, that is a way of life for some people because that's just who they are. So, my answer is kind of yes, no, kind of, sort of, but for the most part, yes, you are part of my community. Yes, you are part of the community. I think, yes, you are part of the gay community, the queer community. I definitely would say, if there is a word that would encompass all of us, wherever we are in terms of, where we are in terms of our sexual orientation, then queer is the term that really kind of encapsulate all of us. Sexual, non-sexual, bisexual, whatever, gender variants, all that stuff. So yeah, you are a part of this community, and I will make it my business to stay more educated as well as share information about asexuality as I stumble upon it. So yeah, feel like you're at home. Yeah, you're at home. It's okay. Okay, so our next question says, I've been dating or in a relationship, in parentheses, a woman for about a year. We work in the same building and met in the eatery one day when there was only one table left and we decided to share it. And I hate to admit that we are the typical lesbians. Yeah, I'm just kidding. And she moved in with me a few weeks after our first date, but it only made sense because we were spending most of our time together. Yeah, that's the typical excuse lesbians use for moving in together. Anyways. But about 6 months ago, my lover lost her job, and she didn't exactly explain to me why, but she assured me that she would find another one in no time. So I just let it go. Needless to say, she hasn't found anything, and all she does is hang out at home all day or hang out with her friends. Her so-called friends, in parentheses. All right, for so-called. And in fact, there are some nights when she doesn't even come home at all. We got in this huge fight this past weekend, and I told her to leave, but she cried about having no money and nowhere to go. When I told her she needed to be gone within a week or so, she threatened to tell my employer that I'm gay. Now, neither one of us are out to our families or at work. And I'm totally scared of losing my job. I don't know what to do. Oh my God. You are between as they say, a rock and a hard place, honey. Honey, Lord. First of all, foremost, I'm just going to say this one little thing before I answer this question. Lesbians, the whole lesbian U-Haul thing is not cute. Okay? Like any functional relationships, getting to know somebody takes time, and moving in with somebody quickly is, I know we think that's cute, and I suppose there are some lesbian relationships that had the U-Haul story and their relationships endured many, many years. But for the most part, it's not a good way to operate in a relationship, whether you're straight or gay. So let's, first of all, I don't want to hear about no more U-Haul stories. They're not cute. They're not. For me, it's just a big old red flag, a sign of dysfunction, and that, you two didn't take time to really get to know each other. And so I'm done with that part. But as for you being scared about losing your job, I don't know if you would actually lose your job if your lover outed you. I think that, that would depend on your employer. But obviously, there's a chance that it could happen. And I think more than anything, it's just not your lover's place to out you anyways. That's not, like I tell people all the time, you don't get to out other people. Only people that can out them, we are the only people that can out ourselves. No one needs to be doing that for us. I know in the past that I have always felt like, well, why don't people come out and I should out them and blah, blah, blah. And I realized at the end of the day that that's not for me to do. That's for them to do. When they're ready, when they're comfortable, when they've affirmed, when they've created a foundation for themselves, when they've gone through the psychological understanding of who and what they are, and they feel good about it, and they want to share it with the world, that's when people come out. Now, at the same time, this woman is living under your roof. I think, man, for the lack of more information, really, unless now if she did move in, if it is a true U-Haul story, her name is not on the lease, which means that legally you can have her removed, which in some respects can escalate the situation, because then people start acting real crazy, doing real crazy stuff that I don't even want to mention. But I think you're right to be scared about losing your job. She has no right to out you. I think, you're feeling scared about losing your job. I want to validate that. That's a real concern. And yeah, you're feeling scared, rightfully so. I think if you really think, like I was saying before, like if her name is not on the lease, then you might need to think about some legal action. I would consult with, maybe some social workers or advocates, community advocates, and say, I'm in this situation. How do I do this, in a way, the best way that I can? I would also, if you're really, really concerned about her coming out, if you're really concerned about her outing you at work, I might, if I were you, start to have some discussions with some folks. Maybe HR. Go to your HR department and say, look, this is my situation. I'm scared she's going to do this, blah, blah, blah. And see if there's someone there that can help you. And even if you do come out to an HR person, they are not legally, if they are true professionals, they won't reveal that information to anybody else. It will be kept in complete and utter confidence. And then, if you have a gay, I want to refer you to the Gay and Lesbian Community Center in your area. If you live in an area that has one, or you're in a town that may be near another city that has one, feel free to call them. And just, again, talk a little bit about what your situation is and what are some things that maybe you can do. Because, yeah, I can see where you were between a rock and a hard place. You need your job, obviously, and she ain't got one. It's always interesting how people who don't have jobs trying to mess it up for other folks. Anyways, and then also, your relationship is not working, and you can do bad by yourself. So there's a couple of things that I would recommend that you do. Try a community center, try a, gay and lesbian support line, try your HR department. And if all else fails, sister girlfriend, you just gonna have to go to the police department and talk to somebody and get her behind removed. Because chances are, if y'all was a true U-Haulers, she's not on the lease. And so therefore she has no right to be there. Now, if she's on the lease, that's a whole different matter. You may have to wait it out. And then once you renew the lease, which you guys have been together, I don't know, sounds like a year and a half or so. So, you may have to endure for a little bit longer, which I'm totally don't want to tell you to have to endure for any longer than you have to. But in some respects, sometimes we just have to, be patient. Your safety, your personal safety, and the safety of your belongings should be your most important thing. And the moment that is violated, you have every right to go to the police. And if you need me to call the police for you, I will. So feel free to email me again. Okay. So, but yeah, this is a really challenging situation. And I feel for you because I know it's not pleasant. And I hope that, your lover comes to her senses and that you guys are able to kind of sit down and kind of reconcile and figure out a plan that's suitable for both of you. Yeah, she's going to have to get out, but maybe, she can figure that out within the next few weeks without needing to out you at work. But in the meantime, you need to be covering up your behind. Really start having conversations with different people that you trust and people that can be of support and people that can be of help. So yeah, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry you're going through this. I'm going to send you positive energy, much love, prayers, and that the resolution is positive and that you come out of this okay. And yeah, this is just, my heart goes out to you, sister. I hope all goes well. So let me know. So for our next question, I'm a straight woman, but I totally find myself falling deeply in love with gay men. I know they don't want to have sex with me, although sometimes I do, but I can't help myself. What's wrong with me? This is an excellent question. I love this question. This question reminds me of me because, oh my God, women, whether you're straight, gay, bisexual, whatever, women that fall in love with gay men are what they call girl fags. And now, and some of you are saying, no, that's not. No, that's not. I do know what girl fag means. It can mean a lot of different things. I think for me, first of all, I do know what girl fag means, but I will say that what it means for me, well, it means this. A lot of times women will feel like there's a gay man trapped inside their body. Now, that's how I feel. I feel like there's a gay man trapped inside of my body. Now, this gay man, he ain't got no interior design skills. He's not good at, he has no fashion sense whatsoever. And he's not really all that flamboyant or anything like that. So, I mean, I know I feel like I have a gay man inside of me, but he's just kind of, I don't know, he's just kind of loud sometimes, and you know what I mean? So maybe it's not exactly a gay man, but he's a gay man as far as I'm concerned. Anyway, so, so yeah. So for women who like sometimes feel like there's like this, there's energy in them that's kind of like, like a gay man's energy. Because you know how that energy is. I love being around gay men. I do. Mostly. Except for when they do things I don't like. But for the most part, I really do love being around gay men. And so there are some gay men that I am totally in love with. And like, I want to have sex with them straight up. Like, oh my God, I really do. Like, I'm so attracted to them that way that I really, and, I tell you, like a couple of men, I'll just say, and don't tell anybody. Like, for instance, I love Cleo Monago. Like, I adore him. And, another one is Keith Boykin. Like, I totally love him as well. And I want to have sex with them. I don't know what it is about their energy that I totally love. And I just want to be around, and I just want them to put their arms around me. And I want to, I want to be their honey bunch. And, so you're normal. First of all, there are a lot of women that love gay men. And being kind of what they call a girl fag is that there's a spectrum in terms of how the experience can play out. Some people are just need to be around gay men all the time. And, we call those girl fags. And then there are women that kind of feel like masculine and like masculine in a gay male way, and they're attracted to women, and they're called girl fags. So there's kind of like, there's a little different definitions. For the most part, you are normal. Let me just say this. If a man is truly gay, you're not going to have sex with him ever. Like, I'm never going to have sex with Cleo, and I'm never going to have sex with Keith. And I've learned to live with that. I really have. Kind of, sort of. Don't tell anybody. But anyway, so no, it's a great question. Yes, you're normal. You're just, you're just having one of the many experiences that a lot of other women have. So please be assured that you're all right. Enjoy it. You know what I mean? Make peace with the parts of it that, well, just will never happen, like the sex part. Never gonna happen with a gay man. No. So yeah, and it's okay. I mean, it's just like being attracted to a certain kind of guy or being attracted to a certain kind of girl, or whatever. In this case, it's just you're kind of attracted to gay men, and you love them, and you love being around them, and you love their energy. And I know how you feel, girl. Woo! I know how you feel. So yeah, you're all right. It's all good. For those of you out there that are probably suffering from the same thing, yep. It's okay. It's okay. And it's okay to be out about it, too. I mean, I just told you guys all my business. All right, so for our last question, it says, I've never been to a Black Pride. How different is it from the other gay pride? Okay, first and foremost, a lot of people call... I used to work for the Human Rights Campaign, and as I've probably mentioned in some other videos and probably will continue to mention in videos, as a national field organizer. And I have gone to more gay prides than the law should really allow. But I've enjoyed every single one of them. Some of them have been what I call more traditional prides. And I hate to use the word traditional because it's not so much traditional pride, but I don't want to call them white prides because they're not white prides. I've never really been to a white pride. And then there might be some white pride. There might be some Ku Klux Klan white prides. I don't know. But, you know, maybe the Ku Klux Klan has their own little white pride. I don't know. That's funny. Actually, okay, never mind. Focus, Charlotte, focus. Anyways, so, you know, prides, because this is what I want to say about prides. Generally, prides that are held, you know, within cities and states and counties, you know, across this country are usually organized by a group of diverse people. It might be majority white, but you know, for the most part, whenever I've gone to any other pride that's not necessarily labeled Black gay pride or Latino pride, there have always been a diverse group of people. Now, Black gay prides are by and large, I would say almost 100%, but I could be wrong. They're organized by Black folk, and they decide what, you know, is going to happen at the pride and when it's going to be and where it's going to be and kind of events and stuff like that. And I think Black gay pride really, for the most part, is no different than any other pride, other than the fact that probably the majority of the people that are going to come to that pride are going to be Black, but not all Black. I mean, I've been to Black prides where it was half white or half diverse and half Black. So, you know what I mean? So it varies in terms of your experiences of Black prides. You have to go to a lot of different ones to see. However, I do think that Black gay prides came out of a need to hold pride in certain urban areas like Detroit and Philly and DC and Houston and Atlanta and Miami and LA, you know, places where there was, you know, a predominantly Black people, and to create an event that was more curtailed to the audience. You know, for example, like in Detroit, as a matter of fact, I was on the planning committee for Detroit's Black Gay Pride called Hotter Than July. And we had Pride, and they still have Pride, I'm sure, in Palmer Park, which is in Detroit. And it's a park that is in the community. And everybody knows where it is, and it's a hangout place. And I know it's a hangout place for a lot of different things. Like young people hang out there, and I know there's a lot of cruising going on there, you know, but also families go there to have picnics, and they have reunions and all kind of stuff in that park. And so it was in the city, and it was, you know, that's why, you know, Black Gay Pride grew to have it at Palmer Park, because it really made it more specific to the Black community. And also what happens for Black Gay Pride, but I can't really say this is true across the board, but a lot of times they will have events at certain locations that, you know, mostly Black people frequent. And again, you know, these things may have been true 10 or 15 years ago, and they may not be as true nowadays. I find that Black prides and, you know, the other prides are really, you know, just same thing, different day. But again, you know, maybe the audience for the other prides are majority white, whereas Black gay prides are majority Black. A lot of the events are the same. Nowadays, Black gay prides have conferences, seminars, symposiums. They show films. They do all kind of things. They have jazz festivals. They have, you know, wine tastings. I mean, you know, it runs the gamut, and that's true for the other prides. And there's women's prides. So, you know, I mean, there really is no distinct difference. But I will say this about Black gay pride. If you are a Black person who has come out, and generally a lot of Black people come out in predominantly white, gay, you know, environments. whether it's at college or, you know, in a social group, or, you know, you just end up, you're like one of the only black people, or one of only a couple or handful of black people. For me, the experience of attending a Black Gay Pride can be life-changing, because I think at the end of the day, we do want to see people like who look like us, and not necessarily to isolate ourselves, but to know like, oh, I'm not the only one. I mean, for me, being a part of Black Gay Pride organizations and events really just allowed me to see myself in different ways, and to see others that are like me. You know, and a lot of times, you know, why I love DC Black Pride so much is that I feel like I don't have to explain myself. I'm just there. I'm accepted. I am affirmed. I am loved. I am Black. I am beautiful. And so, again, it's just about having different kinds of experiences. And, you know, a lot of times Black Gay Prides, no, all the time Black Gay Prides are about affirming not only that we are LGBTQA and the life, same, gender loving people, but that we are also of African descent as well. And, you know, in a world that is, you know, somewhat racist and sexist and homophobic, you know, it's just nice to be in those environments where, you know, your whole self is being accepted and appreciated. So at the end of the day, is there a major difference? Not really, other than the people that are going to be there. I strongly encourage African Americans, Black folks, anybody of African descent to attend a pride, whether you're gay or straight, or it doesn't matter, because I think you should have the experience, you know, and to be, I mean, because prides are like, woo, they're like going to church, okay, for all the... for all the religious folks out there, probably like, no, it's not. But it's like, for me, going to Pride is like, it's like heaven. It's wonderful. It's amazing. It's joyous. It's just refreshing, because I think a lot of times we're in these spaces where, you know, it's very heterocentric, and, you know, it's very Eurocentric, you know, very conservative, and then all of a sudden you're just in a space where you just can be you, and all of you, and it just really doesn't matter. Okay, family, I'm gonna wrap it up. I want to thank you guys for checking in with me. As always, you are perfect, whole, and complete, and you are all right just the way that you are. Family, oh yeah, just please feel free to email me your questions at info@comingoutblack.com, or Charlotte@comingoutblack.com. In the meantime, peace and much love, family. Take good care of yourselves, and I'll see you next time.